They ate uncontrollably, their hunger could not be quenched, they ate anything and everything that looked edible that came their way. This wasn't normal, it was a curse. It wasn't always like that with them, it started on a sunny day. While an elderly woman carefully tried to balance a basket of ripe mangoes on her head, she accidentally fell to the ground with her mangoes scattered everywhere. Then came twin brothers with mischief in their eyes and no regard for kindness. They rushed toward the scene, and decided to pack some of the old woman's fruit for themselves. Instead of helping her up or even apologizing, they burst into laughter and sprinted off, biting into the stolen mangoes as if it were a game. But the old woman was no ordinary soul. She was a spirit sent on a divine mission. Still seated on the dusty ground, she pointed a trembling finger in their direction. The next minute she was on her feet and uttered a chilling curse. You will eat and eat without end. You will hunger beyond reason. You will feast until your bodies betray you, and still crave more, until you wish for death to relieve you. From that moment, their lives changed. The twins began to eat uncontrollably. Their bellies swelled like drums, their faces grew round and strained, and yet the hunger never left them. Will they find redemption? Will mercy come from the very spirit they wronged? Stay with us to the end of this story to find out. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, leave a like, and turn on your notification bell so you never miss another thrilling tale from us. The sound of drumming and ululation filled the wide courtyard of Chief Benson's mansion the day Gloria gave birth. 7 years of silence, shame, and sleepless prayers were finally broken by the shrill cries of 2 healthy baby boys. Midwives danced as they bathed the newborns. Chief Benson, standing tall in his suit, shed quiet tears as he held the babies wrapped in soft white linens. He named them Raymond and Richard, proclaiming that the gods had remembered him at last. Gloria lay on her hospital bed with swollen eyes, her hands weak but eager as she cradled both babies on her chest. My kings, Hans, the world will bow before you, she whispered, choking on tears. Never again will anyone mock me. And she meant it. The years of humiliation had hardened her. Friends who once whispered behind her back about being barren, women like Franca, who pitted her to her face but laughed in private, she'd never forget. From the moment the twins could crawl, Gloria flooded their world with abundance. Gold-plated rattles, Italian baby shoes, imported formula. Raymond and Richard cried for milk, and she gave them more. They cried for biscuits, and she emptied her purse. Whenever she took them out, they pointed and screamed at anything shiny or sugary, and she bought it all. Gloria, Chief Benson said one evening, watching his sons fight over biscuits and meat pies. You are spoiling these boys. They demand everything and cry like animals when they don't get it. They are children, Benson. They deserve joy after all we've been through, Gloria snapped. Discipline is not cruelty, he countered. Not everything a child wants should be given. But Gloria silenced him with her glare, then turned back to the boys. Raymond, Richard, come and see what Mummy got for you, chocolate fountains. As the years passed, the boys mirrored their mother's haughtiness. In school, they picked on children whose parents had older cars. They boasted about their PlayStations and private tutors. At home, they threw tantrums whenever their food was served late. And when Franca visited with her humble son, Samuel, the twins laughed openly. Look at his slippers. He's still wearing rubber. Raymond mocked. Richard chimed in, mouth full of pizza. His backpack is stitched with thread. Franca smiled weakly, trying to hide the tears in her eyes. Gloria simply smirked. Franca, you should consider taking tailoring more seriously. Your husband's salary can't be enough. Franca stood slowly, nodded politely, and walked away, gripping Samuel's hand tightly. "I'll never forget this day, Mama," Samuel whispered. One fateful afternoon, when the twins were 17, Raymond knocked on his mother's bedroom door. "Mom, we're going to Kelvin's house. Have you eaten?" "Yes." "Here, take 5,000. Buy snacks along the way." "Thanks, Mum." As they walked through the narrow back street leading to Kelvin's compound, they saw a frail old woman collapse beside a basket of guavas and mangoes. The fruits scattered, some rolling into the dusty gutter. "Richard, look!" Raymond burst out laughing. The old woman groaned, reaching for her walking stick. "Help me, please." Richard kicked a mango lightly. She fell like a tortoise. The boys began picking the fruits, not to help, but to bite into them. "Sweet!" Raymond exclaimed. "This one is better than the ones we buy." The woman sat up slowly, glaring at them with yellowing eyes. Her voice changed, raspy, deep, almost unearthly. "You have mocked the face of age. You have chewed the fruits of the cursed." Raymond scoffed. "Whatever, Grandma." She lifted her hand and whispered, "From now on, whenever you see food, you will eat. And eat. And eat. Until your soul pleads for death." They laughed and walked off. But as the sun set, their hunger began. At Kelvin's house, they ate a full plate of rice. Then another. Then chips. Think it. Raymond rushed to the kitchen asking for raw Gary and sugar. Richard opened the fridge and drank fruit juice straight from the bottle. "Are you guys okay?" Kelvin asked, horrified. "I'm just hungry," Raymond muttered. "Me too," Richard said. They ran out. At the nearest mall, they tore through meat pies at the snack bar and paid with trembling hands. By the time they got home, their stomachs were bloated, but their hunger wasn't gone. "Mom!" Raymond screamed. "There's no food." Gloria came out in her nightgown. "You just left here. We're starving. Do something." Chief Benson rushed down. "What is this madness?" From that day, it became a curse of gluttony. The twins devoured everything: raw yam, ice cream, bread, akra, even food from street vendors. They raided fridges, ate food meant for servants, and vomited only to eat again. Their teachers suspended them. Neighbors avoided them. Chief Benson fell sick from the shame. His title was ridiculed in the village council. "They are cursed," one elder whispered. Gloria, now weak with worry and shame, carried her sons from prophet to prophet, imam to herbalist, from Port Harcourt to Benin, but nothing worked. As the years passed, her handsome sons became giants of flesh, their necks almost swallowed by fat. They didn't go out anymore. They sat, always chewing, crying, sweating, breathing hard. Then one morning she traveled to a remote village in Edo State to see Baba Izenwa, a seer who was said to speak to spirits. Baba looked at her from beneath a veil of cola-stained teeth. "You were warned," he said, "but you ignored it. You fed their mouths but starved their souls." Gloria knelt. "Help me." He gazed at her with milky eyes. "Your sons insulted a spirit on assignment. She was to bless anyone who helped her and curse those who mocked her. Your sons stole and ate her fruits. You didn't teach them restraint. Now the curse consumes them." She wept. "Can it be reversed?" "There are two ways. One, they will eat and eat until one dies. Then the curse lifts for the other." "No," she cried. "Or," Baba whispered, leaning closer, "you must cook their next meal. Choose which one you want to save. Poison the other." Gloria screamed. "I can't." Baba folded his arms. "Then they will both eat. Until death picks for you." She stumbled out into the night, her cries echoing into the woods. The night Gloria left Baba Izenwa's shrine, the winds howled like angry spirits, and even the moon disappeared behind thick, rolling clouds. Her steps faltered as she walked down the lonely path back to her hotel. Every word the old man said echoed in her mind like thunder. Poison one to save the other, or let them both eat to death. The thought was unbearable. How could a mother decide which of her sons would die? How could she play God with the children she waited 7 long, humiliating years for? She got to her hotel room and sat on the edge of the bed, staring blankly at the wooden tray of food the hotel staff had brought her earlier: boiled yam, garden egg sauce, and 2 fried plantains. But the sight of food made her stomach churn. For the first time in decades, Gloria wasn't hungry. She was haunted. The next morning, she returned to Lagos. Inside her once glorious mansion, the walls smelled of palm oil and sweat. Her sons had eaten everything edible in the house. Pots were upside down, raw noodles scattered across the tiles, sardine tins torn open with bare hands. They were sitting on the floor in the kitchen, shirtless and puffing like panting animals. Their bellies were massive, tight and round. "Raymond." "Richard," she whispered, stepping in. "Mama." Raymond turned, his eyes red from exhaustion. "I want more rice." "There is no more rice," she said softly. Richard began sobbing. "Then bread, or beans, anything." Gloria collapsed beside the fridge and cried until her breath was gone. Her sons, the pride of her youth, had become captives in their own bodies. When Chief Benson returned from his trip that day and saw the state of the boys, he dropped his walking stick and leaned against the wall. "I warned you, Gloria. I begged you. Now look." She said nothing. Not a word. 2 weeks passed. She barely ate. She stayed in her room, staring into space. But her silence wasn't emptiness. It was calculation. Then one morning, she came out of the kitchen with 2 steaming plates of food. Amla, yudu, bigairai, and assorted meat, the boy's favorite. Her hands trembled as she approached them. "My sons, come and eat." They rushed like vultures, mouths dripping with saliva. She placed both plates on the table. Then she froze. "Wait," she said. They both stopped. "Which one of you loves me the most?" she asked. "Mama, why are you asking that now?" Raymond muttered, eyes on the meat. "Tell me," she shouted. Richard raised his hand. "Me, Mama. I love you past Raymond." "Lie." Raymond snapped. "I love Mama more." "Would you die for me?" she asked, staring at them. Silence. The boys looked at each other. Then back at their plates. "No," Raymond said finally. "But I'll eat for you." They dived into the food. Gloria turned away, gripping the kitchen counter. She hadn't poisoned either plate. She couldn't. She had walked into the kitchen with a tiny brown bottle Baba Izenwa gave her, but her heart failed. She poured the poison down the drain. She could not choose. By evening, both boys lay groaning in their room. The food didn't satisfy. It never did. The next day, Chief Benson called his sister, Auntie Nkoli, a tough woman who lived in the village. She arrived the following day, dragging a heavy cane and a bag of dried herbs. "Where are the pigs?" she shouted upon arrival. The twins peeped from their room, frightened. "I see. So the great Chief Benson's sons now eat like cursed demons." "Auntie, please be gentle," Gloria begged. Nkoli turned on her. "You spoiled them like eggs, now you expect angels? These are demons in fine clothes." Nkoli moved in. She seized control of the household. For the first time in years, she locked the kitchen. She whipped the twins when they cried for food. She made them drink bitter leaves, chew garlic, and sleep on empty stomachs. They screamed, cried, begged, but she never softened. "You will die if you don't let us eat." Raymond once shouted. "Then die." Nkoli roared back. And save your mother from this shame. Weeks passed. The boys grew thinner, their bellies slowly shrinking. But something else began to change. For the first time in their lives, they were grateful for water. For boiled yam. For a mango. One night, Richard approached Gloria with trembling lips. "Mama, I had a dream." "What dream?" she asked. "I saw the old woman again, the one we mocked. She was sitting under a tree, crying. She said we must say sorry." Gloria's heart jumped. The next day, she called Baba Izenwa. He listened carefully, then said, "There is still a way." "Tell me," Gloria whispered. "They must return to where it happened. Find the tree. Call the spirit. Ask for forgiveness. Not with words, but with actions." She didn't understand. "What actions?" "You'll know when the time comes." Gloria packed food, water, a mat, and left with her boys. They returned to the exact dusty road where it happened. The tree was still there, old and twisted. As they stood in front of it, silence fell. Then the wind changed. The leaves began to rustle, though there was no breeze. A soft, ancient voice echoed from nowhere. "Do you remember me?" Raymond collapsed to his knees. "We do, please forgive us." "We were foolish," Richard cried. "We didn't know." The tree shook. "You knew hunger when it found you. Only then did you learn respect." Raymond wept. "How can we repay you?" There was silence. Then, a mango fell from the tree. "Plant the seed. Feed the hungry. With every mouth you feed, the curse shall break, piece by piece." And so, the long journey began. They planted that mango seed in their compound. It became a tree. Then a garden. Then a farm. Raymond and Richard, now humble and silent, began feeding orphans, the elderly, beggars, and children like Samuel whom they once mocked. With each act of kindness, their hunger eased. It took years, but the curse didn't just break, it transformed them. They became men not known for their father's wealth but for their hearts. Gloria grew old, finally proud. Her mistakes had nearly destroyed her family. But she had fought to the end. Now, she tells her story in village meetings, schools, churches. Love your children, but teach them discipline. Give them food but feed their souls too. And never mock the poor. You don't know where the spirits hide. So what do you think Gloria should have done differently? Let us know in the comments section below.